Great. So welcome everyone. I'm so excited to have this, airy speaking secret fun session and party together with you, Jale, and everyone else that's here with us today. This is
So
incredible.
exciting.
So looking forward to that. And to all of you, I know some of you will be coming and joining us at the stage of the Women Economic Forum in Delhi very soon. And I know quite a few of you might just want to watch this and get inspired because you have some great stages, prestigious stages coming up where you will be speaking. So why are we actually doing this online speaking secret party here? Well, what we realized, especially at the last Women Economic Forum events, and I've been speaking at 3 of them, and I think my partner here, Jaleh, has spoken at quite a few of them herself.
Also three. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3 as well, great. So, what we realized again and again is that there's so many incredible women and men stepping up on stage, and they said, look, this was the first speech ever. Or, oh my God, being on the stage is such an incredible experience because I'm not really very experienced with speaking. And as people know, I'm a speech mentor. A lot of people came to me and said, Monique, can you give me some feedback? Can you give me some hints? Maybe even help me with the preparation next time. And, that is why I thought, and this is why, Jale, I love to do things together with you because you bring that extra sparkle and energy into things. We thought we should run this session for all of you special ladies that will be there with us in Delhi and that step up on any stage around the globe so that you feel that you're prepared. You feel you have that sparkle, that fire inside of you when you step up on stage so you can ignite others. So you know what to say and how to say things to touch people's minds, but also hearts and souls. You might want to know more about how to really bring that spark with you on stage and make a lasting impression and impact. So, you know that my mantra is all about speaking up, speak up, scale up, make a bigger difference. And usually you help leaders to really sustain their spark, to make their mark. So we are just throwing our genius and wisdom together today and give you really hands-on tips on how you prepare yourself to make your next speech the best speech ever. Okay, Jaleh, you ready to rock and roll?
So good. Thank you for saying that. This is,
Cool.
I realized, I was remembering since New Delhi is coming up how fun it was to catch people right before they go on and encourage them. And just this power of encouragement, women encouraging each other, feels really, really powerful and valuable. So it's such a pleasure to be doing this with you.
Fabulous. So, Jaleh, why don't we tell everyone here who we actually are and why we're doing what we're
Yeah,
doing here today?
that might be good. Yeah. Well, I feel really excited to introduce Monique because I love her so much. And for anyone who doesn't know her or has met her but just doesn't know all of these things, but Monique actually grew up in Eastern Germany, and that was when it was still a communist country, and individuals' opinions and voices really didn't count much at all. And since then, it's really been her mission to help people discover their voice, really their power, and empower them to be the change that they want to see in the world. And she knows very well why it's so important for a person to have ownership of their voice. And so this is why Monique founded the Launch Portal. It helps entrepreneurs all over the world to build their heart-centered business in a very scalable way. So they're not just selling their time, but they can actually earn much more. And she helps people tap into that six-figure income so they can really have a bigger impact. And Monique's also, and I've seen her firsthand in this, so it's really beautiful. She's an award-winning international speaker, as well as a mentor and a published author. She's won public speaking Toastmasters competition 2 times in Europe, on the European level, and she's so humble. I didn't even know some of these things about her, but she's actually spoken in 20 countries all over Europe and the United States and Asia at many prestigious events and stages. And recently, I like bragging about her, she actually got to speak at the United Nations in New York City at a very amazing event. and where she was invited to present. So Monique, she's also shared the stage with top entrepreneurs and motivational speakers, political leaders, Gary Vee, from just to name a few, Cheryl Rausch, former US Foreign Minister John Kerry, Malaysian Prime Minister, former European Council President, and the list really does go on and on. Like some people say that, but her actually list goes on and on. And her weekly Business Lunch radio show is actually attracting listeners all over the world. Actually 60 countries right now are tuning in to hear her topics and her great advice. Before Monique became an entrepreneur, she'd worked for over 15 years in different international leadership positions in marketing, as well as in change management. And her mission today is to help people realize their business dream so they can speak up, they can scale up, and make a bigger difference, a bigger impact in the world. So yeah, what a gift to collaborate with such an accomplished lady like you. And you're just getting started.
Oh, Jolie, this, while you say all the beautiful things about me, it always feels like you're speaking about someone else. I just feel very humbled. Thank you so much. And let me introduce you all to Jaleh, because she is equally accomplished. She's equally beautiful. And whoever she touches, she ignites in so many ways. And she touched me on such a deep level. So Jaleh really believes that everyone, and that is so true, and I believe that too, everyone has this unique spark within them. And so do you. Everyone that watches this, you have the spark inside of you. And there's really this growing wave of mission-driven professionals, and quite a lot of them are coming to Delhi and are stepping up onto the stages of this world, and who really want to move humanity towards a new height of transformation. And in a way, Jaleh, that's what you and I do too. And I know that you've been a team leader in a large healthcare company in the US, which gave you the great valuable opportunity to really work with an incredible range of prominent leaders to get back to the work that really lights them up. And that's all about you and what you do. So after quite a few years working actually in, and living not only in Europe, but working in Asia and the US, you're a real global, global experienced lady. You were encouraged to take your experience in your own company and share it with people to prevent the pitfalls of overwhelm and burnout. I mean, all know this is a major issue today. So, Jaleh's, her business really works with successful business owners and their teams who are leading movements, who are leading movements to develop the muscles to sustain their leadership spark, so that they can really make their unique mark. And that's all about you, Jaleh, and I love how you do that work. Jaleh is really a sought-after sustainable leadership consultant who supports the vision of the leaders and their teams to stay aligned with their unique leadership style and their superpowers. And I'm sure all of you have these superpowers inside of you as well. And Jaleh is also an international speaker who has presented in more than 16 countries on the topics of sustainable, ethics-based leadership. Jaleh also loves being part of nurturing the next generation of ethics-based leadership, and she's currently expanding her Ignite the Spark of Young Leaders program for some schools in the UK and Portugal, where she currently lives. They want to raise the level of consciousness and collaborative culture, incorporating her signature hip-hop meditation process. And I love your hip-hop meditations. We've done it in the city center of Den Haag, and we can do it everywhere, and just lifts everyone up, even people that are not doing it in that moment. So you want to have more of your hip-hop meditation as well when we're in Delhi, right? So you've been refining these techniques over the past 20 years, which have helped you thrive and overcome the trauma after surviving a school shooting when you were a first-year university student. Wow, that must have been an incredible experience. So, Jaleh, your work is dedicated to the mission of transmuting fear, scarcity, and disunity, which really, as we all know, leads to the waste of precious potential. And your work is focused on creating uplifting spaces where everyone's unique spark can be nourished and sustained for everyone's highest good and light up the world. And I know, Jale, that's why I love working with you so much. Your energy, spark work, and my no bullshit business work is just a powerful combination to really help people to make a bigger difference in the world. And as you are so good at that, why don't you even start right now at this moment to really bring this energy into our call before we even start talking about speaking techniques? Why don't you make your mark right now with us?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Monique. I'd be happy to. So as we were talking about this amazing WEF event that's coming up, we were talking about how to serve people ahead of time as well as during the event. I started to really feel so much love for you, for all of us coming together, and from people coming from all over the world to share their voice, share their talents, share their heart, share their vulnerability, share their special, unique gifts, and collectively what that power does in a room like that, electricity. And I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it again. And so I was thinking, if we take a moment to actually feel our heartbeat, because each heartbeat is so unique and so strong and so resilient. And I thought, if we actually all come and the way we show up, being tuned into this heartbeat that we have, and get to feel our rhythm. So you get to feel your rhythm as you show up. And just taking a nice deep breath, lovingly tuning into your heart and feeling this precious gift that's inside of you every moment. And remembering that you are a gift and your presence brings more light into the world at this moment. The world is brighter because you are in it. And just taking a breath into the truth of that gift that you are. And the precious gift that your presence brings wherever you show up. So I invite you to feel that and relax into that truth, knowing you belong where you are. You belong where you're showing up. You're being invited. And we are grateful for your light and your spark shining. Thank you for tuning into that powerful rhythm that you have inside of you.
How beautiful to start our call in this way. Thank you so much, Jale.
My pleasure.
I feel so uplifted, and I hope that you can feel that too, everyone that's with us right now. Well, Jale, as you know, us as speakers stepping up on stage is pretty much, every time connected with an intention, right? And embracing that inner gift and that inner light, and wanting to share that with the world is a powerful intention for us stepping up in this onto any stage in the first place. So why don't you tell all of us a little more about how to really set a strong intention for really making our greatest speech impact?
Definitely. Yes, I'd be happy to. So I heard a mentor of mine years ago say that anything you do that succeeds, it's because 80% of it or more is because of how you feel and what you believe. And then the 20% is like that outer strategy, the actual actions coming from a place of alignment. But if 80% of it is based on how we feel and what we are thinking and what we're believing, that inner game is quite powerful. So I thought these 5 secrets that we'll share today, it felt so true that we should start maybe with intention first. And the first way that I've been practicing and teach my clients how to plan anything is setting an intention first of, how would you like to feel? How would you like to feel when you're stepping onto the stage? How would you like to feel when you're starting to just utter your first word? How would you like to feel when you're looking into the audience and meeting eyes with another person that's smiling back at you? How would you like that process to feel as you're hearing your name being introduced? And those very powerful, discerning words that you tune into will really help to set the tone. And you will see how everything, the rest of these secrets we'll talk about today, if it's built on a really strong foundation of, I want to feel alive, I want to feel fulfilled, I want to feel connected, I want to feel inspired, I want to feel joy. You know, any and all feelings that help you feel this really desired outcome. But coming from a place of feeling first is a really, really, I found a really powerful way to not just set the tone, but also it helps to remind you when you're reflecting afterwards that it was successful. Because, oh my gosh, I did feel joy. That was really fun. I do feel alive. So, so intention setting, I would say first for sure is 1, 2, 3, 20, whatever ways you would like to feel during the process. So that's the how. How would you like to feel? The second part is setting the intention of why. Why am I showing up? I'm intending to do this. Why? Because I love my tribe and I want to connect with people who we share aligned values. You know, why? I want to tune into one other person in the audience and make a lasting, deep, wholehearted connection. Why? I want to be able to speak my truth so I can reflect to someone else that they can also reflect their truth and they also have a voice. Why? You know, these powerful whys can be very wise. They really help to give your voice a clear direction. My dad said one time to me that energy in physics needs direction. It needs a place to go. So setting an intention is really like paving a path for your energy to flow with a clear, discerning tone. And then the other intention is the who. Who do you want to connect with? There's somebody out there in the audience that would probably be so aligned for you to connect with. It would be joyful to make that connection. So you can start to think about who are those individuals in Delhi that you would like to connect with, because there are so many people. There's a range of so many people. So if you can start to have an intention of who are those people that you'd really like to form connections with and have conversations with. So those are 3 of some powerful ways to set an intention that I always use in my clients as well. I think have fun with it is the best way. Yeah.
Wow. Great. It sounds amazing. And it's so profound what you're saying. And it's so true that setting these intentions and paving the way at the beginning makes all the difference. And you don't even set that intention before you step up on stage. You even set that intention before you even start crafting your speech.
Yes.
Because everything that you say will carry that energy and that intention. And so now after we've set a clear and strong intention and you know what yours is, right? Let's look into the next 2 secrets. And next secret, the second secret, which is how do you really structure and spice up your speech content-wise to touch not only people's minds, but also their hearts and souls? Because that will then give you the connection with them, and that will keep carrying your intention to realization. So the first question I would like to ask you is, what do you think makes great speakers outstanding? Is it rather what they say or how they say it? Or is it both? And if you just thought both, you're right, okay? It's really what they say and how they say it. What makes great speakers great is because, that's what a lot of people answer me in my workshops. They say, well, great speakers have a message that's very clear, that I understand it, that their stories touch me, and that makes me feel the emotions, that I feel connected to them, and that we feel like we have something in common. Great speakers really make us change our perspective in some way. They open our heart and motivate us to do things in a different way. And eventually their speech really impacts our life as we feel motivated and transformed to start doing things in a different way and to become better people. So now, how do you become one of these great speakers? Well, I know at the WEF and wherever you go and speak, and many other events, often enough you're not the only speaker, right? You know, that's why also, as speakers, we're not really in competition to each other because each of us have our own intention, our own light, our own message in our own unique way. But still, when you are on a stage and there have been many speakers before you want to stand out, right? You want to create an impression and create a lasting impact. So how do you do it? Well, I don't know how much experience you have at speaking already, but that's why I'd suggest let's talk about some speaking basics first, and then I'll share with you some golden nuggets that make you stand out and make an even bigger difference with your speech. No matter if it's your very first speech or if you've given many speeches before. Okay, great. So you probably know how to structure a speech already. The very simple rule is that there's 3 parts. There's an opening, there's a middle part, and there's an ending. And even though the middle part might be taking most of the time, the opening and the ending are the most powerful ones. Why? Whatever you say first makes people decide if they really want to listen or if they switch off and start playing with their phone or do something else or walk out. So the opening really triggers attention to get people connected with you and into your story. And the ending is what people keep in mind. The ending is what people remember. The ending is what people say to others. Although, of course, the middle part is important because you want to keep their attention and you want to keep igniting them again and again with whatever you're saying. So let's talk about how do you open your speech, because I've seen it many times that people step up on stage, and even though they have been introduced before, like this is whoever, Jaleh Sandye, and she is the lady that helps people keep their spark to make their mark. Often people just step up on stage again and don't even say that. They just say what their name is, where they're from, what their business is, what their position is in their business. I'm a coach, or I'm a software developer, or whatever it is. The thing is, whenever I hear that, you might want to say it, and I have a lot of German friends, and we really, obey by the rules normally, and we say, yeah, we have to say our name because that's just standard cultural requirement. You can do that if you have to, but there's a better way of opening your speech. One way, for example, is you could ask a question. Okay? So what if you'd start your speech not with your name, but you would ask, do you have a dream? Do you have a dream so big that it will change our world forever? Everyone in the audience that has a bigger dream is going to sit at the edge of their seat and wants to hear what you have to say. Okay? So asking questions is a powerful way to get to know your audience. If you ask them, so how many here in the audience have a bigger dream? Or how many here are entrepreneurs? Or how many here are whoever you want to address, just to really get to know your audience. Ask a question, you get to know them. Asking a question is also powerful because you get them to connect with you. You get them to think about what you want them to think about. And, it brings them into your story and it sets the context. Another powerful way to opening your speech is to tell a little story. Not a long story, but a tiny, short story. For example, if you're a business mentor and you tell the story of two sisters, one of them living in Pakistan as they were starting a fashion business, and how they were really struggling and how they were close to giving up, bringing the fashion of the Eastern world together with the fashion of the Western world, and how they did actually push through and how then they had an international breakthrough and today they're a leading fashion brand. If you tell a little story like that, you get the attention of all the entrepreneurs in the world and definitely the ones that are working in the fashion industry, right? If you want to address them. So think about what is a question you could ask, or what is a story you could tell to really connect with the audience, not only in the mind, but on heart level, really. Okay. So then there's so much more to say about this. Here's a little book hint from a guy called Brad Phillips. He wrote a book about 101 ways to open a speech. So if asking a question or telling a story is not enough for you, you want to know the other 99 ways of opening a speech, get the book, okay? It's really going to be inspirational, especially when you're on stage often and you want to use different openings and get inspired. That would be a good hint. So let's talk about the middle part of your speech. Just a quick suggestion is always ask yourself or play with the rule of 3, as they always say. Because a lot of speakers that I see, they speak and speak and speak and speak, but I don't really know, I cannot really remember much of what they said afterwards. So ask yourself, what are 3 major points you want people to remember long after you left the stage? And then really speak to those 3 points and repeat those points again and just craft one major message or one major story or whatever else around that one point to make sure you have a clear structure, to make sure people don't get lost, to make sure you support with these 3 points your major message again and again and again, to make sure people can remember what you're saying in your speech. And then, how do you spice up your message? Well, I could spend days with you on that topic, really. But here are just a couple of hints and tips, okay? So you could ask a rhetoric question, okay? Just ask a question that you want people in the audience to reflect on. Maybe it's even a shocking question like, what if one day the sun wouldn't rise anymore? You again have their attention back, right? When you ask a question like that. And then you bring them into a world where there wouldn't be a sun and, how we need to make sure the sun keeps rising. Okay, so everyone that talks about ecological topics and earth warming and everything like that, you might want to ask a question like that. Okay. Also, again, we spoke about the power of stories, and there's a science and an art around how to craft a story in a powerful way. But again, even if you're not an accomplished speaker at the moment, ask yourself, what have you experienced in your life? And I know you have millions of stories inside of you. Okay, every day we add new stories to our speech material as we go through life. Or ask yourself, what stories have you heard from others that would support your point? So bring stories in. Then also bring facts and figures in as they really make your audience believe in you more. Use quotes. And here's another quick hint for everyone. I know especially people, and I plead guilty when I worked in the corporate world, okay, I used a very complicated language. And I spoke what I call the bullshit bingo language, okay? And if whoever doesn't know what bullshit bingo is, that consultants go into the room, into a meeting, and they take like a matrix of 9 fields, and in each field they have a word like productivity, efficiency, synergy, right? And then in the meeting, they tick it off. How many times was the word productivity used, and efficiency, and synergy? So these are the kind of words that we hear all the time, but they don't mean anything to us. So what I suggest, a quick hint here, is use words that make people see pictures. When I speak about we should increase the effectiveness and the return on investment of our marketing campaigns and tap into the synergies with other marketing agencies, what? Okay, it's not concrete. But if we say in concrete ways, let's work with another marketing agency so we cut our marketing budget by half and reach the double number of people, that is concrete. So use even words like, when I say words like trees, children, beach, heart, words like these make us see pictures, right? So, when you craft your speech, check really, are you using very complicated language or not? And if you have a kid at hand, like 8, 9, 10, or 12 years, okay, give the speech to them and see, do they look at you like you're speaking Chinese? Or do they enjoy what you're saying? Do they feel touched? So if a child can understand it, we all will enjoy your message and understand your message too, okay? So how do you end your speech? Again, there's so many ways of ending a speech. A lot of people, give a summary of what they said before, which could be powerful. You could repeat your major messages. You could also use a quote, or again, if you started to tell a story at the beginning of your speech, don't tell the end of a story at the beginning of your speech. Because if you tell the end of your story at the beginning of your speech, it's like you make people watch a crime movie and you tell them at the beginning who the murderer is. That would be boring, right? So keep them excited and tell the end of the story at the end of your speech, because then again, it's a circle. It's a round speech where you round it off where you started and you bring people back to the beginning just on an uplifted level. You can also ask another question if you want. And another powerful thing is that I love to do with people is invite them to take concrete action. And it can be like start thinking about something, or talk to a friend right now after in the next break or tonight about what we discussed here, okay? So this way you really make sure that people don't just get inspired, but they really turn their inspiration and learning into action right away, okay? So now you have a lot of ideas of how to craft your speech in a way that it touches people's minds and hearts. Now you've spoken about what you say. Shall we have a quick look at how you say it? Good. Let's look at secret number 3. So here are 3 points that I would like to highlight. When you step up on stage, as Jaleh said so beautifully, it's all about the energy you bring across, what you think, how you feel, your intention, how you want your audience to feel in the moment you speak, when they step out of the room afterwards. And here are some speaking techniques that you need to keep in mind, or 3 things you need to keep in mind when stepping up on stage. One is watch your voice. Another one is watch your body language. And the third one is other delivery elements, okay? You might have heard that as a speaker, the biggest impact you have on your audience with your body language, how you move, how you look at them, facial expressions, gestures. 70% goes to body language. 23% is accounted to your voice, and only 7% of your impact to what you say verbally. It's crazy, right? I mean, we put so much effort into what we say, and how do we say things and how we structure our speech. But again, you need to watch your voice and your body language. And here are a couple of hints. And I really recommend you, when you're preparing for your speech now for daily, for the WEF, or for your next stage time, I recommend you record, even video record your speech and watch it. And now you might say, oh my God, no, I cannot watch myself. I have so many people that keep saying, oh my God, I cannot bear watching myself. I sound horrible. I look horrible, right? But I have a friend that is really a very accomplished speaker, and he won the World Championship on speaking once, and he said, Monique, if we cannot watch ourselves, why should our audience? Okay? Might be a tough one to you, but again, you might want to just take that in and, you know, when you're preparing for your speech, watch yourself. And look on the voice side, like what volume are you using? I know a lot of women, they speak pretty high all the time. Try to lower your voice because then people take you more seriously. It's, you know, it's just psychological. You know, when we speak on a lower voice, people hear us more. You know, the volume as well, how loud or quiet you speak, how fast, how slow, how you pronounce words. Does the word moon sound round or is it moon? You know, are you speaking about slowly or slowly? Okay, so the pronunciation of how you say words make a big difference to how people perceive it. And also pause from time to time. Pause so people can digest it. Pay attention to things. Body language the same. See when you watch your video, who are you looking at? Are you looking at the camera? When you're on stage, okay, and you have a stage recording, do you look at people in the audience or you look on the ceiling because you try to find the next line to say? Or you look at the floor? Okay. Try to keep your eyes connected with the audience. And here is a hint. When you step up on stage, don't start talking right away. First stand. Feel how it feels on stage. Have your legs, you know, like shoulder wide. And let me demonstrate. Shall I demonstrate, Jelly? It's probably easier, right? Okay, so when you stand on stage, okay, you just stand first. You know, legs shoulder wide, body relaxed. Arms on your side. Not in your pockets, not behind your back, not crossed. No, just stand, relax. And start looking at your audience. And that's hard now on the phone, but make an eye-to-eye connection, right? Because, you know, when you look at someone, even on the first row, the people in the last row will feel it equally. So eye contact is important. Gestures, facial expressions, how you stand, how you move on stage. A lot of people tiger on stage. They run back and forth. Or they're glued to a microphone. If you have the opportunity, especially when you're giving workshops, you know, and you're not really tight to like a microphone there, but you can have a handheld microphone, take the microphone and walk. Use the stage. Don't just stand and be glued on one space. Okay? So these are a couple of things. And then how do you spice up your presentation? Maybe use videos. Use pictures. Use humor, right? And I know this is a lot of things at the same time, and we train people over several days, sometimes even across a whole year to really master these speaking techniques. But, you know, again, see if you can use humor. Be very careful with telling jokes, especially at the beginning of a speech, unless you've tested that humor and that joke beforehand, okay? Otherwise, it might backfire. If people don't get it or they don't like it, okay, you lose their sympathies right away. But again, you know, weave in a little bit of humor if you can. You know, for example, you know, often humor is combinations or bringing up something unexpected. For example, you know, when you give a speech in freezing New York City in February, you could say, "Oh, they all speak about global warming all the time. Why is it so cold around here?" Right? So bringing things together that are not seemingly connected and joking and playing with it, you'll get some smiles. You might even get some laughters from your audience, and that gives you a really, really good feeling. Okay? So now I know you've got many, many hints on what to say and how to say it to really make a difference on stage, but well, there's something that makes all the difference to really connect with your audience on a deeper level. And as they say, only when you are on fire, you can ignite others. Jolie, why don't you just share with us what is secret number 4? Share with us some energy sparker techniques.
Yes, I'm so happy to. Monique, you really have so many, you know, there's so many components that go into it. It's kind of like an onion. There's so many layers, and each person has their own unique style of presenting. And I think that's you gave a great array of options, so people can, as they're listening, can actually reflect, say, oh yeah, I am kind of naturally funny. So the humor part would be a great opening, or I'm a really good storyteller. I have so many stories that I can share. So one of the energy sparkle is to tune into what is your unique spark, what makes you feel really good, just with your natural personality, with your natural gifts, with your natural talents. So one of the most devastating things that can happen is when we think we have to copy someone else in order to be correct, or in order to be doing it the right way. Each person really has their own unique style, and I love how, Monique, you're able to give the great way of structuring it, so we're not feeling like we're having to recreate the wheel from scratch, and to be aware of the different components so it doesn't feel overwhelming. You're really great at helping things not feel overwhelming. So when it comes to the energy sparkle, like Monique was saying, people remember how you moved on stage, your body language, your voice, and of course what you say is also important. But the memorable elements are often, this person is funny, or this person is so relatable, this person is so, has been through something, and I've been through something similar, so we're part of the same tribe, like she gets me. Those are the things, those are the beautiful sparkles that can help a person really come up to you after your speech and say, I'd like to stay in touch, or what you said up there, I can really relate to. Thank you for saying that. There's some speakers that we've all seen, I'm sure, when they get off the stage, they have this like horde of people around them just waiting to say, thank you so much, or, oh my gosh, how can I stay in touch with you? So some of the energy sparkle techniques is really a way for you to have the opportunity to tune in and say, my physical body gets to feel good. I get to feel good in my own skin up on stage. I don't have to be someone else. I can actually be more of who I really am. So that's kind of the inner game awareness of tuning into your true identity. What makes you come alive? What makes you feel really bright? I think we've all had maybe one moment in our lives, at least, that somebody's like, you were glowing up there, or you made that look so easy, even if on the inside we were like, that was actually kind of hard. There's something that each of us has, that when we speak on it, our heart lights up. And so I'm inviting everyone, please remember that with all of the variety of speakers and all the beautiful personalities and backgrounds, we're each bringing something very precious and very unique to the stage. And to remind yourself of that the night before, so you don't have to toss and turn and not be able to sleep, because physical rest will help you feel more clear and more present in the moment. Having a nice, amount of water before you speak can help to actually relax your throat and help your voice to have that crispness in it. Crispness, not crispness. Speaking of enunciating words well. And just having nice, some tea with honey, a little bit of lemon in some water, making sure you're hydrated, especially after traveling and in a hot environment like New Delhi will be. It's really important after you're traveling and as you're resting in a new place, make sure you're drinking enough water, making sure you're hydrated, especially before you go onto the stage. It's a really great way to make sure that your physical energy is good and that you also can rest the night before. The other part that Monique mentioned about the way you move is another thing that people really remember. I've found my background is in physical therapy, and so I worked a lot with people who had all different kinds of injuries, all different types of movement imbalance, or recovering from surgery, or all different kinds of chronic pain. And there's something really unique that I realized. This common thread, no matter what the age of the person, if they were 4 months old or 94 years old, or anything in between, everyone is more sparkly when they feel good in their own skin. When you feel comfortable and secure and strong in your own skin, oh my gosh, the light beams out of your eyes, you smile, you really, people have like this twinkle in their eyes when they're feeling good in their own skin. And so your physical movement, your physical posture, making sure you can move and stretch, make sure that you feel like you have space to move and be still. Maybe the day before you present, the day you do present, really feeling good in your own skin, feeling good in your body, can really help you command the stage, like Monique was saying, to be able to walk and move. Remember that you have the right to move. You were designed, our bodies were actually designed for movement. So feel comfortable and know you have the right to move any way you wish. And the other part of that energy sparkle, there's so many, and I will definitely have the opportunity to talk more and go deeper with this. But just for the purpose of this call, I also wanted to give kind of like an inner game energy technique of reminding yourself how privileged and grateful we are, how much we appreciate the opportunity to be with this amazing organization and this huge tribe of women and wonderful gentlemen too who are supporting the event. How privileged and grateful we are to actually be in a space where everyone's voice is being encouraged, where we all have been invited to share something that is valuable to us and share that with everyone. So a technique that you can also use that the morning or the night before you present is to just pause for maybe 30 seconds and be reminded of all the things you're grateful for, how much you appreciate this opportunity to connect with others and to share a mic with a lot of other really incredible people all coming together for a common purpose, a common vision. So kind of like Monique, I can talk days and days, and I have on our energy techniques, but those are just a couple of important ones just to kind of get started. And again, we'll talk more about how to get more of them at the end. But yeah, please feel good in your own skin. Know that you belong where you are. So, Monique, I would love to ask you if you could do the last secret, a really important element of a presentation anywhere on a stage. So.
I love to, and I love all of your hints and tips, Jolie. Oh my God, they're so powerful. And every time I step up on stage, or before I step up on stage, I just say, I say words of gratitude for being able to share my gift with the world. And I remind myself that I'm not there for myself. I'm also there for myself because I love being on stage. It's just my nature. But most importantly, I'm there to give and to share. And I remember myself, remind myself of the intentions. And I love your energy work. And you've helped me prepare my energy and my sparkle quite a few times when I stepped on big stages in the past. So let's talk about the last secret, which is all about how do you make sure that your stage time really creates relationships and deeper connections with the right people in your audience. Okay, and that is true if you speak on a live stage or if you do something online. You will never reach everyone. You will never convince everyone. You will never get everyone into changing their perspective or connecting with you or taking the action you'd love them to take. But the right people will connect with you and want to build a relationship. And while they listen to you, they also, they don't want it to end, right? They want to keep hearing more from you and connect more with you. And learn more from you and get your support and connection and care and love and inspiration. And this is why most stages where I go to, I am not greedy. I rather give the precious people in my audience something to take away. Not only nuggets of gold from my speech itself, but also something physical or non-physical and tangible. That could be something like a checklist or an ebook or an invite to a program or something else. And a lot of people I know don't like to do that because you say, oh, selling is not my thing and I don't like to sell and I don't want to be salesy. But this has nothing to do with selling. What it really is you are generous enough to give people more to help them go through the transformation and step up with their life, in their work, in their business. And there's two ways of doing that. Either you share with them a website where they can download something from, like a checklist or whatever else you want to share with them. Or even better, and I've done that in front, with big audiences of 500 and more people, just give them a mobile number and invite them to send an SMS to get something that they can take home and really implement. Okay. And as I said, don't be afraid, as you might feel it's salesy, and don't hold back. Just say, my intention is to serve and I want to be as generous as I can be. So what you do is to really give people additional value to further step up with their life and to support them with their heartfelt mission and work. Okay. And also, just really invite them to connect. As I said, one powerful way of ending a speech is to invite people to connect with you and say, hey, if you want to hear more, or if there's anything I can do for you, or, you just want to have like a deeper conversation, reach out to me or speak to me afterwards, right? And just really tell them, not only reach out to me, but also how they can reach out to you. Say, give me your business card, or talk to me, in the next break, or, or send me an email and share your email address, or connect with me on LinkedIn and, make sure that they got your name correctly. Just, invite them to connect with you and then really tell them exactly how you want them to connect with you. Because so many times, and I know it's hard, especially when you're on a big stage and there's many people wanting to talk to you, people might even be queuing, right? Getting everyone's contacts is not easy. That's why, using other ways, say, either give me your business card quickly, that doesn't take a long time, or connect with me online is a great way to make sure that everyone that wants to connect with you has a chance to do so. And then here's a golden nugget again, reach out to them within 24 hours, okay? Because again, if you think about the WEF and many events, WEF conference is going over 6 days, and not only that, it's not only 6 days, each day people go to different sessions and different workshops, and they get pretty much really almost overwhelmed with all the input, right? So people will forget you. They will forget your face because they hear a lot of other speakers over time. So make sure that you reach out to them within 24 hours and you arrange a follow-up call or meeting right away on the spot, or at least within 24 hours you send them an email with a link to your calendar to make sure that this connection is really taking place. Okay. And then connect with them and, add their contacts to your address book, which is probably normal. Okay. But I know a lot of people that come home from events with stacks of business cards, and then a year later they still haven't been in touch, right? Maybe the next year to meet again. Good news is that the Women Economic Forum is going on a regular basis, but again, you want to connect with them now, right? Once you make that spark connection, you want it to ignite it, right? So connect on social media. Also, if you have a mailing list, make sure you don't just add a lot of people to your mailing list. It's first of all unethical. Secondly, illegal. So, but if people want to get more from you, ask them, are you happy for me to add you to my mailing list? And then do that. And here's a tiny hint, because a lot of people say, oh my God, yeah, but this is a lot of work. You know what? It's not work. Don't see it like it's a business card. This is a human being that you want to connect with. Okay? Do it from your heart. And then also, if you want to, hire a virtual assistant that can help you manage your connections and arrange the calls. You don't even need to do all of that yourself. What you need to do is show up in the conversation with that newfound friend and open your heart and mind to lift them up further and to explore what synergies and connections you can build. Okay? And this is how I connected with our wonderful Jaleh, because we connected also at a conference and we spoke, and then look what we are doing today together. It's incredible. And there's a lot of other things we are doing together, right? So I think that, Jaleh, these were the 5 secrets we wanted to talk about, right? Really like set a powerful intention, get clear on what you say, how you deliver your message to really create a lasting impact. How do you really uplift your spark and energy? Because as you heard Jaleh say, it's 80% of really what people see and remember. And then also, what do you do to really build connections as a speaker? And so, now is really the time for you to start preparing, reviewing, fine-tuning, and practicing your speech. And when your next big stage time comes, in Delhi or somewhere else, enjoy, be yourself and shine. And here is another last hint from my side. Never criticize yourself after you stepped off the stage. And I plead guilty, I've done it many times. Okay, a lot of people say, and I hear myself say that sometimes still, oh, I wish I'd said that, or oh, I forgot to say that. Just keep in mind what Dale Carnegie once said, there's always 3 speeches for every one you actually give. The one you practiced, the one you gave, and the one you wish you gave. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, it's really the time for you to start preparing, reviewing, fine-tuning, practicing your speech. And the good news is you do not have to do it on your own. So here it comes. For everyone that will be in Delhi with us, we invite you to get in touch with Jaleh and myself to really get support, encouragement, creating your spark in a more powerful way, talking through your presentation, practicing your presentation, your speech before your stage time. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Let me quickly share what we're going to do. But Jaleh, do you want to talk about our 2 group preparation sessions that we plan to do and to offer for people, of course for free, just as a gentle support? What are we planning to do?
Definitely. So yeah, these are really just an extension of last year when Monique and I were able to go to New Delhi together. We were roommates together and happened to keep meeting people who were feeling a bit self-conscious or not quite as confident as they would like. And so we thought, since we had that experience last year, kind of coaching people through the process to help them feel better when they went on, and then get the benefit and that great feeling of accomplishment by feeling better. We thought we'd just be proactive and prep to do a couple of these organized sessions in Delhi, physically in Delhi when we're together. So it's a love gift from us just to have more of us all kind of support each other and make a better impact with your voice and your spark well ignited and on. And so if that sounds like something you would like while you're in Delhi, we're going to actually offer 2 separate sessions, like group sessions. So if you're interested to know more when that'll be going on, just email us just below that email address that you see, info@moniqueboxel.com. You'll be on our cool, awesome list of people, and that way, before you go on, you will feel amazing and supported and steady and as confident as possible. So you don't have to do it by yourself. So love gifts for anyone who watches this.
Exactly.
Yeah, just email us as soon, even if you don't know exactly when you're going to be going on, just email us so we can keep in touch, and then you'll be, we'll communicate with you with all the details.
Exactly. Because that's what we are here for, right? I mean, we are here for helping each other, learning from each other. And while we do these sessions together, we will also hear your speech and learn more about you and what you do and how we can help you spread the word with the world, right?
Yeah.
Good.
And
And
also, Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Jelly, and we're also planning something else, right? What's the other thing we're planning?
Yeah. So, it's so cool. Monique is such a super connector. That's what I like to call her when she doesn't know. Maybe I tell you that. But that's how I describe her a lot. And she's so great at connecting with lots of people in a short amount of time. And another reason I was thinking this could be really helpful if for you or anyone else you know that's going to WEF in New Delhi, um, if we know what you're talking about, that way when we meet other people who might be a great fit for one of your presentations, we can actually say, oh, this person is doing this, you should really check her out. Like she's going to be talking about this. And so just as another way of supporting each other um, afterwards. So you're enabling everyone to know more of who you do and connect with people who you're there to connect with. So just that popped in my mind. I just wanted to say
Beautiful.
it.
Yeah. I mean, again, this is why we are going. It's all about connection and helping and helping each other and uplift each other and reconnect each other with everyone that would, elevate our mission in some way,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
And then we also plan a VIP day while we are in India, right? Because we realize that we are always going home. We're entirely excited. There's so many things we think, oh, I'm going to do that and I'm going to do that. And really to bring it all together after the conference is over and to bring whatever our intention is and our mission is to a next level. Jolly and I thought, why don't we bring some of our friends together while we're in Delhi? Friends that we made already last year, friends that we've had for a long time, and also newfound friends, and we bring them together and invite them to join us in a VIP day. The day after the conference finishes on the 2nd of May. We're going to stay a day longer and we will be offering all of you this VIP day. So what is this day about, Jelly?
Oh, I'm so glad you said it like that. Yeah, it was funny as I was thinking about this more. It's really this opportunity. I've experienced this. I don't know if any of you have, but it seems to be something that happens a lot after a really high energy experience, like WF always is. Any conferences that you're meeting people, it's exciting. There's all kinds of new ideas. You're getting all these downloaded hits of like opportunities, how to expand, what to do, new people, how to connect. And then sometimes when you get home, I know I felt this, it's like, oh my gosh, where do I start? Because we just came from level 10 and now we're settling in, and just knowing those next steps of aligned actions so that it's not overwhelming and we don't get stuck in the overwhelm. And so this VIP day is all about helping right after, kind of like leading and taking advantage of all that amazing momentum and energy and excitement and new ideas and creativity ignited from the 6 days in New Delhi together. How do we actually kind of distill all of it into taking concrete inspired action from our current vision, and then any new expanded ideas, and really, like Monique was saying, taking it to a deeper level without letting limiting beliefs get in the way, or some fears of what being more visible could look like, so we can actually help eliminate some of those common pitfalls that can happen. And so we wanted to create like a whole day of high touch, very kind of a beautiful experiential day together where some of these things can actually be refined and you leave the day feeling like your ignited spark is there, you're fueled, you're ready, you're clear, you're focused. And instead of like a firework that's going in lots of different directions, you can really be like a laser that's very focused and very primed for just this up-leveling of expanded energy, and for your vision just to take more concrete actions forward from a very aligned, harmonious place inside of you.
Right.
So that's a little bit about, really the day is to help you make a bigger impact and be even more visible so you can scale your impact without the overwhelm. So
right, and it's beautiful how you say it, Jale. And this is really a day of, it's going to be highly experiential, but it will also be very hands-on tips and advice on how you take your mission and bring it to the next level in a laser-sharp focused way, as Jaleh was saying. And we will share quite a few of our own experiences of what tools do we use, what techniques do we use, how do we actually get started, and how do we bring things to the level where we are today, speaking all over the globe, running international businesses, working with clients all over the globe. How do you get that visibility? How do you really speak up, scale up, and make this bigger difference while you sustain your leadership spark in igniting others and in igniting magical days? So this is what this day is about, and I know that a lot of our WF friends are watching that, so feel invited and feel invited to join us and to spread the word with others. If you're interested, again, send us an email to info@moniquebloxel.com. And if you're not even going to the WF and you think, oh my God, I wish I could be there, either still come and join us, or if you can't, just reach out to us. We might be video recording some sessions, or we find another way to share this wisdom, insight, and experience with you. So in any case, just get in touch if you're interested in something like that, and we'll make sure that you will not miss out. But I think, Jaleh, now it's really time for everyone to get going. Set your intention for daily, set your intention for your next stage time, and then really start crafting your speech. Find your new speech, practice your speech. And again, as we said, if you want any help along the way, get in touch. Send us an email to info@moniquebloxel.com. Anyhow, now I think it's such a beautiful sunny day. We just wish you all a beautiful day. Go out and keep doing your magic, and whatever you do, make your voice heard, make your message shared. Make sure you do make a bigger difference, whatever you do. And we look forward to hear from you also on what of the hints that you took away today have you picked up, and which ones made the biggest difference on your side. So I think before we start going into the FAQ session, Jaleh, I hope that this was valuable to all of you today to share some concrete hints and tips. And I hope you feel uplifted and inspired and ready to go there and rock the big stages around the globe. That's where we want to meet you all. Okay? Jaleh, do you want to say something at the end on your side?
Yes, thank you. Just thank you for showing up and being so present and allowing us to offer these insights and just some of these tips that we've used and crafted and shared with our clients. And just thank you for doing the work that you're doing and being yourselves and adding the special gifts that the world is so receptive and inviting you to do. So I feel very honored that we could have this time together. Thank you.
Thank you. And it's so true. You're doing magic. Let's do our magic together. Let's speak up and make a bigger difference together. Okay? All the best, everyone.
Much love to you guys. Have a great day.